welcome back to Comic Frontline, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to introduce to you Frontline Flashback. That's right, fans. This is the series where us on Comic Frontline go back into maybe some older stories, maybe some back issues, and go back and recommend some books for you guys to read if you ever thought, well, maybe I could have read this, or I never read that because, you know, it was 10 issues ago. Well, on Frontline Flashback, that's what we're here for. We're going to recommend some series that maybe we never read before and that we're reading for the first time, or we loved, and we want to recommend it to you now. So today's introductory episode, and I'm going to be reviewing this entire series up until its current point right here on Frontline Flashback, is X-O Manowar. That's right, guys. I actually never read this series. This was the first time I've ever read X-O Manowar, and I got a deal on the first 21 issues of this, and I'm reading it for the first time, so I want to see if I enjoy it, and so hopefully I can get maybe you guys to enjoy it or stay away from it. But here we go. So the first issue is written, obviously the story is written by Robert Venditti. He's the one that currently writes the Green Lantern series, and the artwork is done by Gary Nord. The artwork in this book is very well done. It really has to go back to 402 AD. That's the setting in this, where we get to see the Romans doing battle against the, what's it called, Visigoths. And that's how this first issue really takes place. It's not much space, where this is kind of misleading in the first you know, cover art here, but there is some battle going on with some aliens, but most of it is all on Earth and just this very war-bitten times here. But overall, the art is great. The color is really good in this book, and I really enjoyed it while reading it. So again, now that I like the artwork, what was this particular story about? Well, here in the opening part of the book, you get to see the timeline of when everything has taken place and what the average age is for the Romans and the Visigoths, and on who these people are and how peaceful they are, and things like that. So it does a really good introductory of the timeline and whatnot. So as the book opens up, you can see these two groups are in heavy war with each other as it opens up, and their leader is, his name is King Eric, and he's a very headstrong, goes into battle type of character. He doesn't really think about the consequences, I feel, of his kingdom, because in this whole issue they are outnumbered against the Romans here, and he's just willing to sacrifice everything in order to do that. But you can see that it's building up his character, that he's very courageous, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win the battle. In the issue, you get to see that with all his courageousness, there is huge sacrifice. His uncle winds up getting killed, and a lot of things happen in here. As we can see later in the issue, towards the middle, we wind up finding out that the aliens have landed on Earth, this weird breed of aliens, and as Eric sees these aliens, he goes into battle with them, not even thinking about, well, what could happen to him and his people or whatever. He goes into battle with these strange aliens. But the thing is at first he thought that they were actually just a higher class of Romans, but he didn't think. And you get to see them like swap babies and things like that, taking alien DNA or taking baby DNA, making clones, like test tube babies. Just crazy stuff was happening. So as the issue progresses, you wind up seeing he gets captured into their spaceship after definitely losing the battle against these aliens, and he tries escaping and he tries doing whatever he can to get out, but he always winds up getting captured. But in the process of being captured again, we wind up seeing that this race of aliens comes across this metal ball, and it seems like you have to be worthy for this, whatever this ball is, and it's called Shinhara. And as you see the issue progress towards the end, you get to see the armor, or this ball opens up into the X-O, I guess, Manowar armor. and it winds up shielding itself around a person who you think may be worthy. But in the issue, you wind up finding out that this alien is not worthy, and he winds up dying. So at the end of the very issue, we wind up seeing that Eric, while he's in jail, comes up with plans saying, I have to get these guys weapons. I have to get out of here, and we need to make it back home, take these weapons, and defeat the Romans. So even in this whole crazy thing that's going on with him fighting these crazy aliens, he's still thinking about defeating the Romans, and he's got to get these weapons. So, and that's really how the issue ends. And that's the story in a nutshell, really. Really, this X-O Manowar issue number 1 is a great introduction to our King Eric here. He's a very headstrong character, like I said early. He's willing to do anything to sacrifice himself and his men to win a war. Whether it's against the aliens, against the Romans, whoever it may be, he's just willing to sacrifice himself. We get to see the introduction of this armor, and obviously this armor is not worthy for these weird aliens, and it feels like that Eric is obviously going to be the chosen one to wear this armor. But where does it actually go from here? How does he get back to Earth? Does he redeem his people? Like, what happens going forward with this series? And after reading this first issue, I am definitely on board with X-O Manowar, and I'm going to find out what these other 21 issues behind me is about. And also here on Comic Frontline, we wanted to talk a little bit more about Valiant Comics. I don't think we talk about them enough and give them the credit where credit is due. I think this is a company that has really has risen in the past 3 years, come out with a lot of titles. And after reading this first issue, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It may not be action heavy, but it is a very character building type of book. So I can't wait to see where this goes. And again, 4 out of 5 stars. And guys, this is the first episode of Frontline Flashback. Guys, tell me in the comments below what you think of this new series, what you think of X-O Manowar in general as a whole if you read it, and hopefully maybe I persuaded you to grab issue 1 and go out there and check out the series for yourself. So Frontline fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline, and until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, fans. See you soon. Bye.